Ding dong.
Oh, thank God, the detective's here.
Oh, my creaky bones.
Hello there. I'm Detective Orchid. At your service. Walk me through what happened.
So
He was
according
dead
to
when I
this-
got here. I
this
swear
sounds
he was
like
dead when I got here.
Okay,
I
stop.
need.
Please, everyone, get away from the body so I can examine it. I shall interview each of you shortly. But first, I need each of your fingerprints.
Mine.
What is your relationship with the victim?
Why, I'm his wife.
I see. How long have you been married?
Almost 4 months. We had the most extravagant wedding in the most beautiful church. He bought me 1,000 Juliet roses and had them strung up in garlands. And an entire live orchestra just for me. I've got pictures upstairs in a scrapbook. Remind me and I'll show you later. It was so much nicer than my weddings with my ex-husbands. Although they didn't have nearly as much money as Ketchup did.
Tell me about these ex-husbands.
I love them all very much. They treat me like royalty and spoiled me rotten with everything I could have dreamed of. Tragically, each of them passed away mysteriously shortly after each of our bereavements, and all I have left of them is their money.
Did you witness the murder?
No, I was upstairs showing Dear Scarlett my wedding scrapbook. I can't believe this has happened 4 times now. I'm not even written into his will yet.
What is your relationship with the victim?
We were having what you might call an affair. But really, I loved him far more than that 2-bit gold digger to which he was married.
Is your relationship motivated by money?
No, of course not. How dare you assume such a thing? I'm perfectly capable of providing for myself.
What is your relationship with Peacock?
We're friends. Or at least Peacock still thinks we are. Ever since the second mysterious disappearance of our ex, I've no longer been able to trust her. Although without her, I never would have met Ketchup. It was my friendship with her that introduced me to him. That's why I didn't really want to come here tonight. But it was Ketchup's 65th birthday, and he wanted to celebrate with all his friends. Before arriving, I didn't know anyone here but Peacock.
That's interesting. Where were you when the murder happened?
I was in the master bedroom with Peacock. She was showing me pictures of her most extravagant wedding. Sometimes I can't stand her. After it happened, Tyler came running to find us. We were too far away in the house to hear it happen. I couldn't believe it. I still can't.
I'm sorry for your loss. Is there anything else you can tell me that might be important to this case?
I saw Tyler Green examining the very candlestick that lay next to Ketchup, my love, earlier this evening. He was weighing it in his hands. I bet he was finalizing his plans right before my eyes.
Thank you, Miss Scarlett. That is quite enough. What is your relationship with the victim?
What is your relationship with the victim? Single, I hope. Not the talkative type, eh? Well, if you really want to know, we were golfing buddies. Every Tuesday we'd meet up at the club. Funnily enough, I'd never been to his house before this evening. I had no idea he was so well off.
Were you close?
Not as close as you and I will be later. Anyways, we were close enough, I guess. I mean, I didn't know he considered me to be one of his best friends, you know? That's why I was invited to his party. I was told he was celebrating with all of his best friends, or just friends in general, I guess.
I found your fingerprints on the candlestick. Is there any way you can explain that?
I'm a full-time bodybuilder, first off. I mean, look at me. I am absolutely jacked. That doesn't mean I'm a one-sided dude. I'm really into candlestick making. I saw the beautiful candlesticks on my bro's dining table, and I just had to admire the craftsmanship, you know?
Uh-huh. That doesn't explain why your fingerprints are on the murder weapon.
Wait, you think I killed him? You think I killed my best bro? Are you kidding? No way. I had no reason to kill him.
Is that so? Where were you when the murder happened?
I was trying to find my man Mustard, because I needed to find the bathroom in this house is just gigantic, dude. But I heard a scream in the parlor, and I ran in to see him. I can't believe he's done this to me. He who? He... Help! And he was sprawled out on the floor. He passed in my arms. His last words were, "I can't believe he's done this." I ran to the others right after he was gone.
Thank you for your time. I'm so sorry for your loss.
Now enough about me. What are you doing this evening?
Okay, that's enough. Just go already. I have a murder to solve.
Fine. I'll win your heart later.
What is your relationship with the victim?
I'm a former student of Mr. Mustard, although of course I knew him as professor back in those days. He never said it out loud, but we both knew I was his favorite student.
Why do you think you were invited to this party? Did you stay in touch after you graduated?
Unfortunately, I wasn't able to graduate, as I couldn't afford to continue my education. Ketchup and I fell out of touch. I was quite surprised to receive my invitation to this party. However, upon talking to the other invitees, it seemed apparent that Ketchup didn't have many friends. I'd imagine I made an impact on him, just as he influenced me.
Interesting. Where were you when the murder happened?
I hadn't arrived yet. I was running late, you see, because my car had died. It's electric, and I forgot to plug it in yesterday. Then I had to take my roommate's car instead, so I didn't get here until after he was dead. I mean, after he was gone.
Can you think of any reason why someone would want to kill Mr. Mustard?
No, well, I guess he was a little selfish, but other than that, not really.
Can you expand on that?
Like, for example, when I told him that I couldn't afford to return to school, I kind of expected him to at least offer to loan me the money. Clearly, he's affluent enough to pay my tuition without any real struggle. He's just a selfish old man without any real friends. But of course it's his money and he has no obligation to share it. He and I were still very close until I stopped going to school. Then we simply fell out of contact.
Tell me what happened to your shoulder. Is that blood?
Plum!
You
So good
son of a... I fell in the driveway on my way here. It was so stupid. I hadn't realized I was bleeding so badly. In fact, do you mind if I leave right now to change my shirt?
I'd like to take a sample of the blood on your shirt and send it to the lab to compare with the DNA from the crime scene and the samples that I took from you all upon your arrival.
Actually, I just remembered where the blood came from. I walked in and it was all dark and ominous, and I tripped right over the body, and that's where the blood on my shirt came from. It's Mr. Mustard's blood. In all the commotion, I didn't even notice it.
I'd still like to take a sample of the blood and send it to the lab, just to confirm your story. The DNA evidence is here.
The CSI effect is any of several ways in which the exaggerated portrayal of forensic science on crime television shows such as CSI influences public perception. In this scenario, Orca the detective could not send in DNA evidence to the lab via email. She also would not have the results back for several days.
Please clear off the table. Being hit in the head with a candlestick caused Mr. Mustard's brain to swell, killing him after he lost consciousness within 5 minutes, as you can see here. DNA from the killer matched up with one of you. And all evidence points to Plum as the murderer.
Fine, I did it. Fine, it was me. I killed him. That stubborn rich old hagfish had the audacity to invite me to dinner after what happened a few years ago. I'm glad he's dead. He got what he deserved.
What happened a few years ago?
4 years ago. I was still a student of Mr. Mustard. I took his class in university and I excelled in it. I was his favorite student and, admittedly, I had a fondness for him as well. One day, he invited me to grab lunch with him and I revealed that I was having trouble affording my education and would likely not be able to return next year. He expressed his condolences, but offered me nothing despite our close ties. I guess I understood. He owed me nothing at that point. That is, until I saved his life. I pushed him out of the way of a moving truck that was heading straight towards us. He owed his life to me, and I would have gotten away with it too if I had just paid attention in Mr. Randall's forensics class.
Sir, you are under arrest. You will wait with me until the police arrive.
So y'all want to play Clue?
Yes.
Alright, I got green dude.
I want to be Scarlet.
I want to be Miss Peacock.
I want to be Mr. Mustard.
How are you alive?
Surprise!